right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Monday Momentum where I'm here to share good word with you to help you get to the bag, right? To start your week off right. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of a foundation when building your dreams, right? One of the most important things that we all need when we come to our dream is more than just a vision. A vision is super important, right? So you need to know what is the big impact that you are literally trying to make on the world, on the community. You need a vision. At the same time, within that vision, it's not enough. A vision not written down is just a dream. A vision not written down is just an idea. And so what you need is a blueprint. What you need is a plan. What you need are people who are going to help you actually make your dream come a reality. And so today we're going to talk about how to make your dream a reality. And so listen, would you feel comfortable sleeping in a room or a building that had no foundation? Would you feel comfortable sleeping in a building that had no blueprint? Would you feel comfortable sleeping in a building or a room or a house that had no structure or no pillars around their walls, right? Something on the inside of the walls that's holding everything up. That's the same thing with your dream. Your dream, right? The vision that you have, which is going to be amazing, is not enough. You need a plan. You need foundation. You need something that's going to hold it up to make sure that it becomes a reality. Make sure that it is sustainable. Make sure that it's something that long lasting. And so today we're going to talk about some of the things that you need in order to break these things down. And so as a person who has a little bit of real estate, right, who can tell you a little bit about building a home, right, this home that me and my wife have built from the ground up, designed from the ground up. One of the first things that you need to know is that you need a foundation. And a part of that is actually, before we even get to the foundation, you need a blueprint. And so what is the plan of action? What is the thing that's going to make sure that everything is going to be structurally sound? Are we agreeing on what is actually being built? And so what a blueprint does is help people see this is what we are in agreement on what is being built. And so I remember having the conversations with our contractors, right, and some of the people who built our home. One of the things that they all kind of talked about was, how do we agree on what is going to happen? And so if they showed me a blueprint of a 2-story home that only had 2 bedrooms, right, that only had 1 bathroom, I would be like, that's not what we agreed to. And it's the same with your dream, right? When you put your dream on paper, when you write it down, when you share with people in your community, what they can tell you is, hey, this is something that we all can agree to making it happen, right? This is all something that we can agree on, supporting you and moving this thing forward. And so a problem that a lot of people have, especially when it comes to getting support from their family, is that they don't really come to an agreement. They think that that the dream is all that they need. The vision is all that they need. And the problem with that is, when you have a vision, you need more than yourself to make it become reality, right? Just like when you're about to build a home, before you even build the foundation, what you need is a crew, right? I can't stress this enough. After the blueprint is done, right, after the architect has figured it out, after we all decided that this is what we want, right? We want a 2-story, 4-bedroom home with 2.5 bathrooms, right? With this in the backyard or this on the side of the house. Like, once we come in agreement on that, the next thing you need is a crew. And so I need somebody who are skilled at making sure that the foundation is literally able to take care of us, right? And so even within the foundation, there are things called rebar. These are bars that hold the foundation together, so that even though it is a concrete slabs even sometimes can loosen. And so in order to make sure that it doesn't loosen, you need rebar. And this rebar holds everything together. And so if your foundation, even though as your house settles, it's still not going to crumble. It's not going to break apart. The same thing is with you, right? What is your rebar? So your rebar is things like your family, the people that you don't see that's behind the scenes, like people like teachers or faculty, principals, people in the community, some of the people who might be holding you up that's like literally just watching from behind the scenes. These are all people who are playing a part in ensuring that your foundation stays together. Another thing that might be a part of your rebar is your values. It's your gifts, your talents, the skills that you have, the things that, again, people cannot see, but they know that you have them. And so what you want to do is making sure that you are holding on to your values as you're building your home, as you're building your foundation. All of that plays a role in your foundation. And so as it relates to your dream, what's the thing that's holding it together? Right? So like, as I think about my dream, I wanted to become a faculty member. I wanted to become a professional speaker. And so some of the things that was holding my dream together was, one, my drive and my motivation. Two, my desire to make impact on people's lives on a national and international scale. My thoughts and perspectives on my abilities and skills that I've gained over the course of 10 or 15 years teaching at a higher education institution. These are all things that were a part of my foundation in ensuring that I can reach the thing that I dream. My dream was literally helping you. My dream was literally becoming a faculty member, becoming a staff member, becoming a faculty member, becoming a professional speaker so that I can be in front of you to help you achieve your dreams. And I think that's a lot of people think that that's weird and that's wild, but I'm personally a maximizer. So I get great joy by seeing people reach their full potential. And so I want to make sure that that is something that you see about yourself, right? Another thing that I had a dream about was, one of my dreams was, and one of my foundations is being a father, being a husband, being a father and husband in the home with the children that I have. These are all parts of my values. These are all parts of my foundation that helps me make my dream a reality. And so what is that theme for you? What is your foundation? What is the thing that you're standing on, that you're sitting on, so that you can ensure that you become whoever it is that you want to become, right? And so another part of it is like having a sense of understanding. Oh, I'm looking at my notes. My bad. Let me go. Okay. So another thing that you can think about is, when it comes to the blueprint, is what is your plan? So your plan can be a vision board, right? A plan can be a list of things that you want to do before to kick the bucket. A plan can be something that supports or helps you write things down, like a journal. These are all your blueprint. You know, as I think about myself, and something I've been doing my whole entire life is journaling. And so one of the things I want you to make sure that you think deeply about is like, what does your journaling process look like? How do you continue to move that journaling process forward? Don't be afraid to hold on to your journal. I remember even having journals that I travel with. Unfortunately, one of my oldest journals I traveled with, I literally had to throw it. I mean, I left it on the plane on accident, right? And so I need you to know that having your journal, having your vision board, and even when, for a person like me, I do a vision board every year. And so you can do your vision board on Canva. You don't need to go out and like try to find magazines and have a big poster. I've done those things before, but you can just start on Canva, right? And if you really, really like taking it serious, you should print it out, like, and have it in multiple places in your house so that you can see your vision every single day. And so one of my visions this year is actually to not necessarily lose weight, but lose a lot of fat. Like I'm trying to get my fat percentage, my body fat percentage down. And so there's things that I have to do in order to make that vision a reality, right? Like I can't just be like, all right, well, my vision is for me to lose a lot of body fat, but then I don't work out. Like, or my vision is for me to lose a lot of body fat, but then I don't eat healthy. Like that don't necessarily help you. And so what a lot of people do wrong is that they have this vision and then they do the opposite thing that hurts their vision, not helps it. And then you wonder why you don't have the confidence that you have. You wonder why you don't have the self-esteem that you should have. You wonder why you doubt yourself. You have insecurities. It's because you promised yourself something that you're not even holding yourself accountable to. And that's a big part of the problem that we all have. I'm not even just talking about you. I'm talking about me too. There was times when I was 300 pounds and I wanted to lose weight, but I was not willing to stop eating all the time. Like it wasn't even that I didn't exercise. I played 3 sports in high school. But even when I got to college, it wasn't that I was not in the gym. I literally had a job where I worked for a gym. I just never worked out. And so a part of the issue is not the environment, it's me. And so some of the issues that you are having is not that people don't support you, don't want to see you be great, don't want to see you become the person that you want to become. The issue is that you are hurting you. You are breaking your own promises to you. You tell yourself, well, I'm going to eat a salad every single day. And then when it comes to the time where it's time to eat, you don't choose the salad. Right? Or you choose a salad, but you're so used to it being doused in dressing that you don't realize that even just a little dollop, right, of dressing is so many calories. When you put a whole bunch of it on there, it's not even healthy no more. I need you to realize that what you gotta do is hold your promises to yourself if you want to make your dream a reality. Y'all, I don't even know who this is talking to right now, but I just feel like this is a message that needs to be heard when it comes to making your dreams a reality, because any dream can become real, but it doesn't happen without discipline, without obedience, without a plan, without sticking to the plan, even sometimes longer than what you anticipated. I don't necessarily know how long it will take for you to make your dream a reality. But what I do know is that if you never hold yourself accountable to your own dreams and then putting them down on paper and making sure that you break those things down into smaller pieces, you will never make your dream a reality, right? Again, I could not lose 100 pounds overnight. It was not something that I could do in one day. It's not something that I could do in 1 week. It was not something that I can do in 1 month. I had to literally be strict on myself every single day for months. Like I didn't eat fast food for an entire year. No Wendy's, no Taco Bell, none of that, right? I made sure that I knew how many calories was being intake into my body. And I also made sure that I pumped out as much calories as I could at the gym. Like, and this is coming from a person who's experienced being overweight multiple times in my life, not just one time. And so what I need you to know is that like a part of this journey is not just you like being okay with you letting yourself down. And sometimes you got to get fed up with you. And sometimes you got to be like, I'm fed up with the mentality that I've taken at my own goals. And then make a change. And then make some difference. Right? I'm feel like I'm preaching, right? And so a part of this also journey is seeing that your dreams need a blueprint. But once you get a blueprint, you need to know that you got to build your dream one step at a time. And so you need to break it down into small steps. And so if you build in a house, the foundation is one step. Then the wood framework is another step. And then the outside layer is another step, right? And then the inside layers is another step. And then the flooring, and then the like everything is small pieces that make a collection of a home that we all can enjoy, right? And so for your dream, you need to break it down into small steps. And you need to prioritize those steps. So like, I can't just say I wanted you to build my house and then start with the roof. That don't make no sense. And so I need you to see like your part of this journey is to then say like, all right, like I need to start with the foundation. I need to know what materials I need for that first. And then I'm going to build on top of that. Right. And so as it relates to your dream, what is your foundation? What is your foundation? And so make sure that you put that in the comments. What's the foundation in your dream? If you wanted to literally be education, if you wanted to be, I want to get a college degree, the foundation of your dream to get a college degree is to then study, right? To go to class, to make sure that you're doing your assignments on time, making sure that you're connecting with your faculty members, making sure that you're networking with your communities, like and the people that's going to lead you to the job that you want. Like these are all foundational things. Before you graduate and get the job, you got to get the degree. But even when getting the degree, it's not enough. You need more than that. And so what is the more for you, right? Thinking deeper about that. And so another thing that I want you to focus in on, right, is that this thing, just like any dream, doesn't happen overnight. And so you need some patience. You need to take some time. And I'm thankful for the fact that it's not that that we need patience just for patience sake. It's about the process. It's not about perfection. Right, I'm gonna say that one more time. Patience is not just for patience sake. It's patience puts you in a process of learning so that you not thinking about being perfect, but how do you then learn from your mistakes so that you can become the expert that you see yourself becoming. Right? When you learn from mistakes, then you have literal experience that helps guide the next person to the next step. Right? That's what it means to be a leader. That's what it means to be a leader in industry. That's what it means. Like as a faculty member, a person who's been teaching now 5 years, I can tell people who've been teaching just 1 year, this is something that you might be encountering. How do I know that? It's because I made that mistake. And then I can be the answer to somebody else's prayers, y'all. And so I want you to be the answer to somebody else's prayers. But you can't do that if you only focusing in on perfection. And what perfection oftentimes does is it paralyzes us because it doesn't look like what you think it's supposed to look like. But reality is like moving things forward. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about the process, not perfection. And when you get that through your head, right? When you lose weight, it's not I'm losing unless you're just on a strict diet, right? Fruits and vegetables, and you're working out 2 days a week. You're going to be in a constant losing process. But if you are in a regular person like me, you're going to be in a state of losing, and then you might gain. Then you lose, and then you might gain. And then you lose, and you might gain. But if you're steady chasing perfection, if you're steady chasing that it has to look like this, or I'm goal oriented, right? Versus process oriented. If I'm goal oriented, you'll say, oh, well, I lost 3 pounds, but I didn't lose 5 pounds. And so that's not enough. I didn't hit my goal. And then you lose momentum. And I want you to keep moving forward, right? Because motion and momentum is super critical to you hitting your goal. You can't be stagnant. When you stop moving, that's when things stop happening, right? When you stop going, when you stop helping, when you stop supporting, that's when things start to be feeling like it's nothing happening for me. And I'm going to tell you, nothing's going to happen for you if you stop moving. And so make sure you keep moving forward, y'all. And so here's the thing. I want to give you a little encouragement. Right? I want to get you a little wisdom. And so first let's sometimes you gotta close your eyes to really realize, like, wow, my obedience to my vision and me putting a plan together helped me create the home that I really wanted, create the lifestyle that I really deserved, break the generational curses that been haunting my family. Like, I think about, like, myself growing up in a home without a father, and now I am the father that I always look for. Right? I took my son in the backyard the other day, and we got a chance to play not one sport but two sports back to back. He was going kicking the ball in the goal, and then he came over and hit the baseball right off the tee. And I just remember wishing that I remember wishing that I had that. And now I get to be that for a little boy that I want to send out into the world, that I hope and pray will change people's lives for the better. That's what you get to build, y'all. Like, I get a chance to look at myself as a teenager and now as a man, and I can say that I've kept off over 100 pounds for over 20 years. I can say that, right? I'm praying that one day I can look back on this time and say my bank account, right? Like, my bank account used to be like this, and now it's like this. Okay? That's what I'm doing this for. And so I want you to know that you are not behind. You're just in foundation building phase. You are not behind. You're just in structure building phase. You're not behind. You're just putting a roof on top of that thing so that it don't leak, that it don't get the elements don't get in. Right? You're not behind. You're just putting the flooring in on your thing. Like, right? Like, you're not behind. You're just literally building. And that's an important part of the process, because most people respect people who build something, not people who bought something. Ooh, that was a freestyle. I like that. Most people respect people that are building something, not just bought something. And so I don't want you to think that you're behind. I want you to keep building. And so I'm going to invite you to make a comment below. I'm going to invite you to share this video. I'm going to invite you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you think this word was good for you, I want to make sure that you hit the big three. You like, you share, and subscribe. Share this word with a person that literally is in building phase. Share this word with somebody who really believes that they're behind, but they just need to know that the foundation is a part of the process of building and becoming progressive in your life so that you can make impact in somebody else's life, right? I want to make sure that you see, that you understand that the blueprint, the foundation, even in the foundation, there's rebar, right? And so those are your values. Those are your people that working behind the scenes, like your parents and your teachers, right? Your community members, your community leaders that are ensuring that you have a life that you can live that's worth living. I want to make sure that you also are thinking about all the structure that you're putting around your dream. How are you breaking that thing down into smaller pieces so you can make it achievable? And of course, as always, I want to see you actually make it happen. And so if this is again, it's like, share, and subscribe. And of course, as always, keep doing the good work.